Hi, my name is Angelica, and this is the Angelica Unfiltered channel where I talk about health, wellness, weight loss, but mostly fat acceptance. I know I bitch and moan in all of my videos, but I thought we would talk about something good, kind of. Or I guess maybe just it's positive in the sense that we'll be talking about someone that has left the fat acceptance community and is losing weight, and I'm very proud of her. Today, I wanted to talk about friend of the channel, Rosey Beeme. She is a plus-size influencer who used to be in the fat acceptance community that has decided to start losing weight. If you keep up with the fat acceptance movement, you may have known that Rosie was in some drama. I don't even want to say like she was in drama, but like people were talking shit about her. No pun intended. One of them being fat girl Flo. I'll post a link down below if you want to get caught up in all that tea. But I wanted to talk about this video that she posted because people in the fat acceptance community were giving her hate for it. This sound was trending. I don't know if it still is. I don't keep up with trends and shit on social media. I'm in my own bubble, okay? The caption reads, "This audio, skull emoji. Anyway, fat acceptance only got me bad knees and a lot of torrid cash. Hashtag VSG journey, hashtag VSG, hashtag fat loss." And then on the screen right here, it says POV, a plus-size influencer who gave up her fat acceptance stance to focus on her health.
On today's episode of Fat and Jobless.
So I think Rosie was like kind of poking fun at the sound because obviously people probably used this sound to get some sort of clout within the fat acceptance plus size community. And people had some not so nice things to say to Rosie. So that video that Rosie posted got around 42,000 views, but she ended up going private because people were just saying such heinous things to her. I'm sure it would have probably blew up even more if she stayed public, but I don't blame her for going private because people are psychotic. So let's go over some things that Rosie posted on her story. So she pinned this comment and someone said, "You can still want to be healthy and have a fat body. Those things are not mutually exclusive. How embarrassing." You know, if you're maybe 10, 15, 20 pounds overweight, maybe it doesn't affect your health that much. But when you are 250, 275, 300, you know, on and on and on, that stuff starts to affect not only your health, but just your quality of life. And it's so fucking weird for this commenter to be like, you could be fat and healthy, when Rosie literally said in the caption, "It gave me bad knees." And if you follow her or see any of her other posts, she has talked at great lengths about how being obese has affected her health and her life in general. And then we have Savvy Schultz here in the comments. She also remains fat while chasing the dream of thin privilege. Much better use of time. People don't fucking lose weight to have thin privilege. People lose weight because they no longer want to suffer, because they are miserable being obese, because being obese fucking sucks. I don't know if you guys are obese or have ever been obese, but it's not really that great. You know, if people in the fat acceptance community claim that they're fat and happy, they're fucking lying. Is it chasing thin privilege or just literally want to fucking exist without suffering? Is it thin privilege or just being able to want to maneuver around society? Is it thin privilege or just wanting to be able to tie your shoes? Is it thin privilege or trying to treat your pre-diabetes? I'm not saying like Rosie has any of those things. I'm just giving examples of why people would want to lose weight and thin privilege having nothing to do with it. And then Rosie says, "Hi, friend. I can't wait for you to find your way out of the brainwashing. Personally speaking, my fat did impact my health. I had a decreased lung capacity because of my weight. I didn't find that out until I was undergoing intense testing with specialists for my bariatric surgery. I could not climb to the third story of a bed and breakfast my husband booked for my birthday. My knees hurt every day and I was scared to go to my mailbox. I've already lost almost 60 pounds and my health has changed massively. Please don't go down the path of disregarding your health. I am proof of how dark it gets. I think Rosie is in her mid-30s, and she's talked about on her page how, when she was in the fat acceptance community, she was talking about how she was happy and fat and healthy, but as soon as the 30s started creeping in, I think she said like her early 30s is when her health really started to catch up to her. You think you are invincible right now in your early 20s when you are a spring chicken, when your body hasn't started to deteriorate, but eventually all of these things will catch up to you. There is no way you can explain how weight loss is fat phobic and rooted in ableism, misogyny, xenophobia, blah, blah, blah. When you are in the hospital recovering from a heart attack, that will not matter. No one in the fat acceptance community will come and save you when you are trying to recover from a stroke. No one in the fat acceptance community is going to pay for your fucking insulin when you have type 2 diabetes. No one in the fat acceptance community is going to pay for your ER bill. No one in the fat acceptance community gives a fuck about your health. They just want you to believe in the same things that they do because they need someone to affirm their delusional beliefs, because they are so scared to come back to reality and realize how mentally ill and unhealthy they are or will become. I don't know why I have a headphone in. I'm literally just reading fucking things. And then she replies to Savvy and says, "Hi, Savvy. I've nearly lost 60 pounds and I'm not chasing thin privilege, just a longer lifespan. My health was getting dangerous and I've seen significant improvement." Why do we not believe women when they say that they are suffering? People in the fat acceptance community love to talk about how, there is just so much misogyny in diet culture and society, but they do not believe women. They do not support women when they use their bodily autonomy. When I chose to lose weight, I was deemed dead by people in the fat acceptance community. When I used my freedom to make a choice to better my life. Rosie, as a woman, has talked about how being fat has affected her health, and people do not care because it does not fit their fat acceptance agenda. Rosie's next story slide is these two people. Both of these commenters are thinner than me when I began this journey at 348 pounds and have zero idea about how weight impacts a body. It's very easy to preach about fat acceptance when you're capable of going to a 𝒹𝒾𝓃𝓃𝑔 concert and feel comfortable enough to sit on the ground. I personally love when I see thin people preaching about fat acceptance because it's like, you don't know what it's like. You are not an expert. If it is so fucking amazing to be fat, then why are you not fat? Go ahead, go gain 150 fucking pounds and tell me how great it is to be fat. Nope. You're not going to do it. Because you know that it sucks. And what you are saying on social media is performative. I think that any thin person that is trying to be an ally to the fat acceptance community has some sort of ED or some sort of other mental health issue where they like to see fat people suffer. Because what else would be the logical explanation of telling a fat woman that she can still be fat and healthy even though she is suffering and has decided to take accountability for her actions and get weight loss surgery and change her life around? What sane person would fucking do that to someone? That's like telling someone that's cold that put on a jacket, well, you can like warm yourself up without like wearing a jacket. You could like create a fire and stand by it, or like rub your hands together, or like your crotch and your armpits are actually like the warmest part of your body. So you could like hug onto it and like warm yourself up so you don't have to put on a jacket. It's like people are actively helping themselves and getting better, but you are convincing them not to. You are convincing them to regress. So much for uplifting women. People in the fat acceptance community like to act like they're progressive when they just continue to tear down other women. Maddie replies and says, Like I said, you can be a fat and healthy at the same time, doll. Just because you neglected your health while in a fat body doesn't mean the other fat people are. Thanks. Okay, why are you not fat then? You're thin. Neglected my health in a fat body, A. I worked out with body positive trainers and had a Hayes nutritionist. I saw the doctor multiple times a year. Stop forcing your misery on others. Save yourself. I just love how Rosie is literally like, being fat hurt me. Being fat made me sick. And people are like, well, what about, did you know that? It's like, Rosie is speaking about her personal experience, and you're basically gaslighting her into thinking that it wasn't that bad, or she can still be fat and healthy. Like she can still, oh, Rosie has bad knees and she's fat. Okay, well, she could still figure out a way to work on her knees and not lose any weight. What if all of your health problems are because you're fat? What would you not try to lose weight? That is the most logical thing to do. Whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, whether fucking Mandy and Savvy right here in the IG comments like it or not, being fat affects your health. But somehow we have started to deny science and reality and think that you could be 300 plus pounds and still rid yourself of illnesses. Yeah, sure, maybe Rosie can go get a fucking knee replacement. Well, guess what? She's going to need another one because her weight is the source of her knee problems. I feel like I just have to keep explaining myself to these people because they're so fucking stupid. But I hope that you, viewer, understand that these people are crazy. Rosie says next, I believe I'm more dangerous to the fat acceptance girlies because I used to be one of them. I cited my reasons for losing weight being my health. And when people don't take my health seriously, I do in fact troll a little. And I say I'm doing it to be hotter. Want to know something? Since losing almost 60 pounds, my lung capacity has increased. So Rosie can now breathe better. And I don't know if you guys know this, but human beings need to fucking breathe to exist. Yeah. So seeing that her lung capacity has increased makes me happy because it's now easier for her to just exist. I move now. Yeah, and a couple of slides ago, Rosie talked about how she was scared to even walk to the mailbox because her weight was affecting her mobility. These little trolls piss me off so badly because they have become so ascribed to academic discourse largely associated with progressivism. And don't get me wrong, I am very progressive, but I do believe that many people aspire to be the final boss of progressiveness and collect beliefs like infinity stones. Just because there are academic texts written about fat bodies doesn't mean you're inherently going down a pipeline for wanting to lose weight. Signed, the oppressor, I guess. We have seen many people say that. Jessica Torres, that's Jessica Torres.
What ends up happening and what you're showcasing is that you went from being the oppressed to being the oppressor. And you're okay with that.
Another plus size fat acceptance creator saying that if you are a fat person and you decide to lose weight and you're not a healthy, normal weight, well, it's not normal because normal would be obese and overweight, but healthy as in, you know, a healthy weight. You were the oppressed and now you're becoming the oppressor. And I don't know if you guys know this, but just because it's written in a fucking book doesn't mean it's true. You know, we have Tess Holliday's Moron book that I reviewed on this channel. I also read one of Aubrey Gordon's books that I need to make a review of or a summary because I'm still working on that because I just don't know how to not quote the whole book because it's so fucking stupid. Because it's actually heinous how horrible it is. Just because something was in a study doesn't make it inherently true. Like the 95% of diets don't work. That quote that people in the fat acceptance community love to spew. Sam at every size debunked that. But also, use your brain. Think for 2 fucking seconds. In the 80s and the 90s, there were studies shown that, oh, fat is bad. So everyone started going on these low-fat diets. And because food tastes disgusting without fat, to make it flavorful and edible, companies decided to start putting a bunch of sugar in the food. They replaced fat with sugar. So then everyone was just eating a fuck ton of sugar. And still to this day, there is propaganda that fat is bad for you. And all of those studies about how saying that fat is bad was paid for by the sugar industry. Think. Just because you see something doesn't mean it's fucking true. Why not just think? Use your fucking brain. It's not that hard. I promise you, it's not that hard. Oh, someone says this? All right. Well, why did they say that? Did someone tell them to think that? Is this just the motive that is being pushed in society right now? Why would I, think? Just because Aubrey Gordon said it on a podcast doesn't mean it's true. You can misconstrue information. There is so much misinformation being spread on the internet. Why do you think that does not apply to you in your circles? Yeah, because only people that disagree with you believe in misinformation, right? Mm-hmm. Great. And then Rosie posted this on her story, I think a little bit later. Keep talking about me. I want more people to see my page and realize that you can leave these online subcultures and live a better life. It's hard to hurt someone who's living authentically. And there's a comment right here that says, get off the stage. Profiting off of the fat acceptance movement for a decade to become fat phobic is yikes. The fat phobia in mention is Rosie saying, hi, being obese has destroyed my health. It's not like she was posting shit on the internet like me, calling people humongous big fat cows. No, Rosie just talked about her personal experience. That's fat phobic. I've lost 200 pounds and never dreamed of being this tone deaf. What? Rosie can't make a fucking joke? Victoria Beckham, I'm so sorry that you are so much more virtuous, intelligent, and just at a higher consciousness than all of us. You are virtue signaling to fat people. Because if you have lost 200 fucking pounds, then you know how horrible it was to be that weight. I assume she probably had to be close to Rosie's size, if not bigger, to have lost 200 pounds. Rosie made a fucking joke, and that's tone deaf. Well, I hope she never finds my channel, because if Rosie's tone deaf, then I don't know what the fuck I am. But you were never really with the shits, were you? What? I feel like she's doing like gang talk.
But you were never really with the shits, were you?
Health at every size and fat liberation forever. Then you're fucking... Why did you lose 200 pounds then? Why did you lose 200 pounds then? You have to know that something is fucking wrong to lose 200 pounds. You don't just lose 200 pounds overnight. That's something you kind of really have to try and work towards. You're corny as fuck. Losing weight for your health is your business, and I support bodily autonomy, but abandoning the movement that gave you your platform is crazy. Rosie didn't abandon a movement. She left a cult. And this is why people don't want to leave the fat acceptance community or even just talk about weight loss, because people literally get this fucking psychotic. What if Rosie actually just created her platform by posting things that she liked? And people just like her because she has a cool vibe and she has nice style. So that's why people followed her. Not everyone is so fucking dense. Not everyone is so shallow that they only follow people because they're in the fat acceptance community. What if I followed Rosie because I like her style? And then she's also plus size. Like, you just don't like... Stupid. This isn't your first post like this, so please save me the bullshit. Victoria Beckham, if you fucking hate Rosie so bad, then get out of her comment section and stop interacting with her posts so you no longer see her in the algorithm. If you have lost 200 pounds and you still believe in health at every size and the fat acceptance movement, then you probably have an ED. Because anyone in their right fucking mind would know how bad it is to be an additional 200 pounds heavier. You have traded probably one ED for the other. Or you are just on a very long, restrictive part of your BED cycle. That's like someone that quit smoking fucking cigarettes. It's like, yeah, everyone should smoke them. They're great. And it's like, and they haven't fucking smoked one in 25 years. That's like someone that's sober telling people, oh yeah, everyone should drink. Everyone should just be alcoholic. Who cares? Drinking's great. Being a drunk's great. Being an alcoholic's great. Health at every alcoholic. Alcoholic liberation. You literally make no fucking sense. Abandoning the movement. Like the movement is a child. Like it is a human being. Like Rosie just got up and fucking left. No. Rosie is saving her life. She doesn't need to please you psychos. Yet, you had no problem making money off fat people prior. She looks like Tess Holliday. She literally looks like Tess Holliday. Jessica Lynn. Amber Lynn. Tess Lynn. Tess Holliday Lynn. We're getting to that fucking point. There's this groundbreaking concept that you can change your mind. Did you guys ever know that? You know, if we're talking from a business standpoint, you know, because Rosie is a content creator, influencer, she could pivot and find a new niche. Businesses can start selling different types of products if they want to rebrand. It's like literally not that fucking serious. And Rosie's still plus size. Just because you, Jessica Lynn, are obsessed with fat acceptance doesn't mean that every single fat person believes the same things as you. What if people follow Rosie that are plus size and think that health at every size and fat acceptance is psychotic? Then they'll still follow her. Girl, what are you talking about? You make it seem like I wasn't fat myself. I was showing people clothing that fit me. I still do that. Nothing has changed. Yeah, Rosie, she still posts the same shit. She just has a separate fitness account on Instagram. She still posts the same things. And I don't recall like her old fat acceptance content. I don't know if she still has it up. Maybe I'll do some digging. Rosie, you better have it privated or I'm going to find it. Just kidding. I'm not going to use it against her or anything. But it's like, she's still posting the same shit. She is still the same person. She has just decided to lose weight. And on her other account, she's kept it pretty much the same. I follow both of her accounts. I keep up with both of them very regularly. It's not like Rosie is posting all of this fitness, weight loss content on the other page. They're completely separate. Also, wake up. I've been honest about my stance for over 3 years now, and I still have 200,000 followers. And I make money providing a service, showing off cute clothes. I haven't done anything wrong to you guys. People in the fat acceptance community act like their whole family was murdered when someone else leaves the movement. It is like not that serious, I promise you. What would you do if a fast food influencer no longer could eat fast food because they now have fucking type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol? Are you going to tell them that they are abandoning the fast food community? No. You're going to wish them the best of luck and hope they get things under control. Fat acceptance / activism literally gave you the confidence to believe you were worthy of positive life changes, but go off, I guess, sis. I would beg to differ. When I was in the fat acceptance community, I felt so fucking helpless and hopeless. Like, I make these videos, obviously, to make you guys giggle and to motivate and inspire you guys. But it is also because I hope that my content helps some people get out of the fat acceptance community. Like I don't even know any of you guys that watch my videos personally. I think I have like over 17,000 subscribers now. Thank you guys all for fucking subscribing to my channel. It's like crazy. But I don't know you guys personally, but I would never want any of you guys to suffer the way that I did in the fat acceptance community. I hope that every single person that believes what the fat acceptance community preaches somehow finds the anti-fat acceptance community online, or somehow a fucking miracle happens to them and they stop believing the things that are preached online. Because I never wanted to lose weight, or I didn't even think I could lose weight, because people in the fat acceptance community say 95% of diets don't work. Your weight is predetermined before you're even fucking born. If you do happen to lose weight, you are going to gain it all back within the next 2 to 5 years. If you lose weight, that is fat phobic. And then fat phobia is rooted in racism, ableism, misogyny, xenophobia, blah, 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 blah. So not only do I think it's literally fucking scientifically impossible to lose weight, I'm scared to lose weight because I don't want to be seen as a fucking racist misogynist. And then thirdly, I know my ass is going to get reamed if I decide to lose weight and talk about it. How is being in the fat acceptance community, how is that situation, how is that community inspiring someone to lose weight? How is that community enabling someone to use their bodily autonomy? How is that community inspiring other people to take accountability for their life? That community does not give you confidence. That community gives you crabs in a bucket mentality. The fat acceptance community gives you mental illness. I mean, you probably already had it because you joined it, but it makes it worse. Rosie says, actually, my lived experience, self-worth, and 5 years of therapy gave me that confidence. Fat acceptance weakened me, isolated me, and is now bullying me. I can't snap. I'll insert some in the editing. Oh, getting some snaps in here. One. One snap singular. You do not get confidence from being in a community. That is something that comes internally. No matter how many people told me I was beautiful when I was 272.8 pounds, I did not believe it. Self-esteem does not come from other people tooting your horn and kissing your ass. Confidence and self-esteem comes from doing hard things and accomplishing goals. I took back my life and happiness and physical freedom, and no amount of terminally online trolls, Rosie is very good with her words, will ever make me regret that. I'm happier with this weight off, and this little anthill I've kicked in is so insidious. Rosie needs to write books or something. She's a magician with these words. They truly aren't happy unless everyone is immobile and unhappy. Misery loves company. This is the highlight of their week. The group chat is popping off. People love when a post like this goes viral because they can shit talk a person that has lost weight because they do not have the ability to do it themselves. They need to project all of their mental illness onto someone else to feel better about themselves. All right, we got a blue check mark here. This means it's important. Aw, look at the academic discourse is starting to arise. Wait so I can never criticize or divorce myself publicly from a group simply because it has some positive roots in intersectionality, yet is mostly vocally made up of body-checking white women who love to ensure that no one loses weight. Got it. Fat phobia is rooted in anti-blackness and white supremacy. When literally anyone says that, they cannot elaborate on that statement. It's just something that is parroted.
Unfortunately, almost everything has some sort of racist or anti-black history. Take gynecology, for example. Dr. J. Marion Sims, the father of modern gynecology, performed painful experimental surgeries on enslaved black women in the 19th century without anesthesia or their consent. But does that mean we should refuse pap smears or other reproductive health screenings today because of that history? Should we neglect our reproductive health because of the inhumane actions of the past? In the same way, choosing to lose weight isn't fatephobic, anti-black, or racist. Taking care of your body and wanting to be healthier doesn't mean you've internalized oppression. It means you value your well-being.
So it's fine if you want to lose weight, but absolutely lose me with the anti-fat acceptance tip you're on. Maybe trip. You might want to refrain your thinking to include that political nature of fatness, to consider that fat activism is also a form of resisting ableism. Fat acceptance is a fucking coping mechanism. If you are so fat to the point that you are immobile, that you are now disabled because you are so fucking super morbidly obese, that is your problem. Stop co-opting the issues of people that are actually disabled from any sort of disorder or diseases or freak accidents or injuries. You are fat because you can't put the fucking fork down. Don't talk about ableism. Go fucking put a lock on your refrigerator in your pantry. That's what you need to do. Again, your weight is your business, but actually you're a fucking anti-black white supremacist because you decided to lose weight. That's literally what they sound like. But you've isolated fat folks who don't hate their bodies because of your ignorance in discussing the issue. The profile picture. She looks exactly like I thought she would. Oh my god. SJW ass bitch. Me with my SJW ass bangs. How did Rosie isolate people? She just said, the only thing fat got me was bad knees and toward cash. What did her video even say? POV, you're a plus size influencer who gave up on fat acceptance to focus on her health. How is that isolating fat people? How is that isolating fat people? She said, I no longer believe the psychotic shit people in the fat acceptance cult believe because I wanted to focus on my health. What does that have to do with any other motherfucking fat person on the planet? Seems like she's just taking care of herself. So dumb. I'm literally just a person with an oppositioning belief system, yet they're acting like it's a personal vitriolic attack. I truly don't have time for it. Stay fat, y'all. Do your thing. It's not my thing. And no, I don't believe in upholding a fringe group who advocates against weight loss and rigidly polices people who dissent and lose weight. Good grief. God forbid you don't believe the same fucking thing as people in the fat acceptance community. This is why people don't leave. This is why people don't talk about their weight loss, even though it is something that has made their life better and is most likely something that they're very proud of. Because if you say you lose weight, then somehow you are now isolating fat people. You are now the oppressor. You are now ableist because you decided to lose weight when you just lost weight. That's all you did. You just started eating less calories and now you are the devil himself. These types of comments are what kept me in fear of pursuing weight loss, by the way. Yep, me too. This is why I was so scared to leave the fat acceptance community, because I knew deep down that when I left the fat acceptance community, I would get hate. Of course, I didn't think it'd go viral and I would get millions of views, but I knew I would get some sort of pushback for doing something that I wanted to do, for actually literally just taking care of myself. The way they employ use of other minorities and talk about racism, classism, etc., it makes you feel like you've committed an atrocity by daring to think about your weight and fatness non-academically. Period. Go off, sis. Yeah, it's like, okay, so you cannot lose weight because weight loss is fat phobic, and fat phobic is rooted in racism, classism, ableism, misogyny, blah, blah, blah. So if I decide to lose weight, I'm all of those things. And it's like, no, I just like don't want to die at 50. It's too, like, it's just fucking nuts. Anyway, I'm off to go on my walk. And then Rosie decides to go private. Being fat and spending your life online about fighting academic theory is insane. Like, honestly, go get a job. Go for a walk. I'm gonna lose weight and live my best fucking life. If being fat is so great, shouldn't you be living your best life strutting on the streets in a bikini eating a sprinkled donut for TikTok? Period. Well, I'm sure there's someone doing it. And then this fat activist, who I've been thinking about covering for a while because the shit she posts on Instagram is so cringe, like it makes my fucking skin crawl. She decided to put this on Threads. I had to make one of my friends screenshot it because I don't have that. I don't have Threads. But voluptuous Leah, she often posts things on social media in her bikini and underwears. You've probably seen them before. I actually reacted to one of them in an Instagram compilation a while ago. An ex-fat positive / advocate has shared that all being a fat advocate got her was bad knees and a lot of toward cash. Let me assure you, there are thin people who have bad knees and hip issues. No shit, Sherlock. No shit, Sherlock. Thin people also get knee and hip replacements. But how much more likely is a fat person going to have knee and hip issues and need those replaced? The answer is more fucking likely, because being fat hurts your joints. There's more pressure on your fucking joints. Therefore, they're being crushed and need to be replaced, because every pound of extra weight someone carries puts, I think, 2 to 5 pounds of pressure on their joints. Most doctors won't even do knee and hip replacements if their patient is overweight, because they know that it's just going to be fucking wasted, because they're going to need another replacement in a couple years. I have a straight size boyfriend who has a bad knee. He's never been fat a day in his life. Well, let me guess. He probably does manual labor jobs then or something. Like, your boyfriend doesn't have a bad knee for no fucking reason. Something has to give. And guess what? Sometimes you have knee pain because you're obese. Sometimes you have knee pain because you have a very active job. Sometimes you have a bad knee because you're fucking born with it. Maybe you got some rare disorder. But most of the time, it's because you're overweight. Guess what? 77% of American adults are overweight. Most of their medical issues stem from the fact that they're fucking overweight. Losing weight is the cure, whether you like it or not, viewer. Same with you, voluptuous Leah. It might not be the cure for your straight-sized husband, but it is the cure for most people. This solidified the fakeness, like damn. Tell me you have 3 working brain cells without telling me you have 3 working brain cells. Like damn, brain fucking explode emoji. Please. Please. Tell me you can't fucking think for yourself without telling me you can't think for yourself. The solidified fakeness. Whoa. So deep. You're a philosopher. You got Rosie. Damn. Z-step. No. Like, damn. Rosie has stated, my weight has affected my health. Being obese has done this, that, and the other. And losing weight has bettered all of those things.
You can be thin and have a bad knee.
Yeah. And you can be fat with a black fucking eye, because if I see you in the streets, I'm gonna fucking punch you in the face. And I hope that my fist will knock some sense into your fucking brain. Jesus Christ. But I think it might accidentally destroy the last 3 fucking brain cells you have. So fucking stupid. Here's voluptuous Leah. Let me show her dumbass. Here's what Leah's posting online. I think we've reacted to this. Fat is not a bad word. God. Thin boyfriend doesn't have knee problems. Well, he sure as hell probably has back problems if he ever tries to fucking pick you up. Maybe that's why he does have knee problems. Because he tries to pick you up, or maybe you sat on his lap and fucking shattered his kneecap. Oh my god. You know, you guys, you don't have to post everything on social media. You can keep some things for yourself. Even though I know you get views for having a thin boyfriend and you being super morbidly obese, Leah. I know you need rage bait to get some engagement because all your other fucking content gets no views. Oh, this one went viral too. It's okay to be bigger than your partner. Girl, that ain't a little bit bigger. That's probably almost double in size. All right, well, good thing this video is almost over because I don't have blinds in this room yet and the sun's coming in real good. Phew! I'm glad that's over because I was getting real fucking pissed off. It's just so fucking stupid. Rosie literally being like, hi, I'm hurt because I'm fat. Well, people can be fat and not hurt. But this is how I'm feeling. Well, shut the fuck up. Like who are you trying to impress? Like, it At least I have a camera and a microphone and a fucking computer so I can make videos about this stupid shit and talk about it because, I think I might just fucking explode if I had to keep all this in by myself. Because no one in my real life understand anything about this community online. So whenever I bitch and moan about it, they're like, it's like I'm talking in a fucking alien language because they're like, people really care about this stuff? I'm like, yeah, yes, people are mad because a grown woman decided to lose weight. Mm-hmm. Yes, isn't that so weird? Isn't that weird, viewer? All right, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. If you've made it this far, leave some dark forest emojis because Rosie is just like a dark cottage core fairy queen goddess. And I don't know if her fitness account is still private, but I'll have everything linked down below if you want to go give her a follow. She's a lot more nice than me, and she posts these like bariatric journal entry, kind of like long speaking videos on her Instagram or on the fitness Instagram. And I just love her voice. Like, she needs a podcast or something because I could listen to her speak all day. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like this video. And if you enjoy me, please consider subscribing. My goal is to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I will be doing another giveaway, 20,000. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Peace.